So Layne Riggs got his first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series win at Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park specifically, on Friday night in the TSport 200. Riggs got his second win of the year, as he also swept both stages on the night at IRP. The win was also the fourth of his career. He celebrated after the win by putting his 34th Broad World Motorsports Ford outside of the pit wall and lit up his tires, with his crew there celebrating with him as well. Here's Riggs talking about how he was able to execute and make this one happen, as far as winning at Indianapolis Raceway Park and more, courtesy of FS1.
Oh man, my team, this truck was badass, man. It was so great. I was just out front saving my tires at the end, and man, I was just waiting for a late race caution, trying to run the bottom and trying to run the least amount of distance to keep just distance off my tires. But just so great to get nicotine clue nicotine pouches in Victory Lane. This is only their second race with us, so we're just super excited to have them as and a part of the board. Just thanks to everybody at front row. I'm out of breath. That was a pretty cool celebration. Thanking everybody at home. It's man, all the guys in the fab shop, body shop. These guys did it for you guys. This thing was really, really fast. Made my job easy today.
Riggs led 1 of 60 of the 200 laps at the 0.686 mile short track and won by 1.864 seconds over Corey Day. The second place finish was a career best for Day, who had a previous best finish of 5th at Nashville Superspeedway in his previous Craftsman Truck Series race. Day is running part-time in the Craftsman Truck Series for Spire Motorsports and Hendrick Motorsports in Xfinity Series. Here's Day talking about how he puts into words his performance at IRP after him feeling things clicked at Nashville and more, also courtesy of FS1.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's definitely good to back up Nashville. You know, I was telling everyone it clicked, and I felt like it clicked, but, you know, unless I come here and back it up, it means nothing. So, yeah, really glad to finally be delivering results. I've been working really, really hard at this stuff to, you know, be delivering these results, and, you know, I really want to be, you know, during a burnout up there. So I'm going to keep working as hard as I can. Very thankful for Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Andrews, Jeff Gordon, Mr. H, Kyle Larson, just everyone who's believed in me to get me to this point. Thank you to HendrickCars.com, Spire Motorsports for bringing me a super fast Chevy Silverado, and yeah, we'll keep working at it, but good day for sure.
Despite Riggs cutting into the points lead of Corey Heim with 2 races to go before the playoffs, Heim still clinched the regular season championship with a 3rd place finish. Heim led the first 20 laps at IRP before Riggs took over after that. Heim started on the pole due to rain canceling qualifying. Heim needed 39 points to clinch the regular season championship and got 45. Plus, with him clinching that regular season championship, he got 15 more playoff points as a result. Here's Heim talking about how rewarding it is, him getting the regular season championship and more, also on FS1.
Yeah, it feels really good. Just a testament to how good we've been this year. You know, I feel like this is probably the first race where I haven't had a legitimate shot to compete for the win. So that really says something, and you know, a little bit disappointed to come here. I was actually excited to come here and try to improve. I've never felt like this track has been my best, but unfortunately, I just kind of roamed around the outside of the top 5 all day, and had a really good restart there at the end to get us a track position to finish 4th. But yeah, just really proud of all the guys at Tricon Garage. I mean, they've been lights out this year. Like I said, just like really the first race, I haven't felt like I've been good enough, and you know, I feel like we got some good races coming up as well. So huge thank you to them, Toyota, Safe Flight, and everyone else who makes this happen.
Stuart Breeson was able to take an early pit stop in the second stage and ended up originally in 3rd. However, he was disqualified after the race due to failing height requirements in post-race inspection. The disqualification also ruined a great strategy call by his 52 team. With that disqualification, the drivers moved up a spot in the finishing order as a result of that. Breeson's team appealed the penalty, but it was upheld. He also made his 200 start and also had a birthday that night in IRP as well. Grant Enfinger finished 4th, defending series champion, as well as 2-time defending IRP winner Ty Majeski, who is currently the final driver above the elimination line for the 10-driver playoffs, finished 5th after Breeson's disqualification. That extended the cutoff advantage over his TSport racing teammate Jake Garcia, who finished 15th in the race from 38 to 61 points. The rest of the top 10 was Chandler Smith finishing 6th, Daniel Henrik 7th, Tyler Ankrum 8th, Ross Chastain 9th, and Roger Caruth 10th. Other notable finishers included Ben Rhodes finishing 11th, Tanner Gray 13th, Brendan Butterbean Queen 16th, Matt Crafton 18th, Tony Breidinger 26th, Frankie Muniz 27th, and Jordan Anderson 29th respectively. Even though Heim didn't get any playoff points on Friday at IRP, he did set the fastest lap time on his second lap. He already has 39 on the year. With the 7 Riggs added in the TSport 200, he now has 16, which is second most amongst Craftsman Truck Series drivers as well. The playoffs begin on August 30th at Darlington Raceway. Congratulations to Layne Riggs on winning the TSport 200 at IRP. What a win for him there especially. He had a very fast truck, even though Corey Heim led the race early on. but Riggs then took over there after that, and he pretty much never gave up the lead for the most part, except for a little bit when Stuart Breeson was leading there as well, so. And he had a dominant win there, especially. What an incredible graphic there on FS1, especially. The fact that Riggs led more laps at IRP than he did the entire year in the Craftsman Truck Series. Pretty incredible stat there, especially because of the fact that he won a race already this year at Pocono Raceway, so for him to be able to dominate the way he did at IRP shows that he's a championship contender and a factor there, especially to be able to compete for a championship. So definitely pretty cool there, especially for Riggs, especially that last name is familiar because of the fact that he's the son of former Cup Series driver Scott Riggs, who has also won races in the Craftsman Truck Series, as Scott won 5 of them and Layne has now won 4. So definitely pretty cool there, especially. It was also a pretty cool coincidence as well for Layne Riggs because of the fact that he started in the Craftsman Truck Series driving the 38 truck, as he won twice with that number, and he ended up now in the 34. And what's funny there, especially, the 38 is now driven by Chandler Smith, which is similar how in the Cup Series, A. Smith took over the 38 as well with Zay Smith. Obviously, those two aren't related, but the fact is there in the Cup Series, Todd Gilliland started in the 38 and is now in the 34, and now Layne Riggs did the same thing in the Craftsman Truck Series, starting in the 38 and now in the 34. So definitely a pretty cool coincidence there, especially the fact that A. Smith took over the 38 in both situations in the Cup Series and Craftsman Truck Series, with all those situations happening at Front Row Motorsports. And obviously Zay Smith, he's won a championship in the 38 in the Craftsman Truck Series, so definitely that's a pretty cool connection there, especially. But obviously Riggs has a lot of confidence there, especially be able to move forward there, especially into the playoffs and all that. Definitely he's a factor there, especially like I said. If we're to be able to beat Corey Heim straight up there, especially, Heim didn't make any mistakes pretty much for the most part. Riggs just beat him, and he had that fast truck there, especially with the F-150 horsepower. So definitely pretty cool for Riggs there, especially for him to be able to do that. So definitely congratulations to him, like I said. But yeah, speaking of Heim, congratulations to him on winning the regular season championship. Definitely not surprising there, especially, and the fact that he got to do it 2 races earlier. Definitely he's got a lot of momentum there, especially, and him getting the 15 playoff points and all that, especially. That he's got 2 more races to be able to try to win more, so, and get more playoff points to give him more of a cushion going to the playoffs. But especially with Heim, he should have had even more wins. He should arguably have 10, 11 wins maybe, had things got his way. But for him to still be able to win the regular season championship regardless shows how fast he's been all year. So definitely don't count him out as far as still being a factor to win the championship. So far, so good for Heim, but definitely he's got to clean up mistakes and try to continue to bring fast trucks every weekend, which he's done for the most part. So obviously a race like how he did at IRP, a track that normally he hasn't been good at, but for him to be able to have a great run there, especially and lead laps, definitely that's a good thing for him there, especially. But also shout out to Corey, another Corey there, especially Corey Day. He had a great run there, especially as well at IRP. I don't know much about him, especially I've heard of his name and all that, but definitely pretty cool that he got to be able to have a great finish there at IRP, especially. He comes from a dirt racing background. Obviously, Kyle Larson being from dirt racing as well. Recommended Day, so definitely that's pretty cool there, especially. Day is definitely a very talented driver, and he showed it there at IRP. He and Connor Zilic are some of the more up-and-coming drivers, especially with how Zilic has been doing lately, especially winning 3 races in a row in the Xfinity Series. So definitely that's pretty cool up-and-coming drivers there, especially in NASCAR. So, and obviously a driver like Kyle Larson, he's very talented, especially with the success he's had in dirt racing. And obviously with him being a Cup champion and all that. So definitely for him to be able to recommend Corey Day, especially to Jeff Gord, Rick Hendrick, and Jeff Andrews, and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, especially with him getting a chance to race some Xfinity races there today. So definitely that's pretty cool there, especially. So hopefully he continues to get more opportunities, and how he did at IRP didn't hurt there as well. So definitely shout out to Corey Day, and shout out to Jeff Gord, Kyle Larson, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, Inspire Motorsports, for giving Day an opportunity. So definitely that's a pretty cool story there for Day. So yeah, hopefully he gets to do more opportunities, like I said. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, definitely it was pretty awesome to be able to see the Craftsman Truck Series live at IRP again. I talked about the race last year in 2024, which was a lot of fun to do. I'll leave that in the description. It was a lot of fun there this year as well. Definitely a lot of action, especially 3 wide, 4 wide, even 5 wide at some points there, especially. And the fact that the drivers kept the race clean, especially. Only 1 caution for incident. Obviously, there were 3 total. The other 2 being for stage break. So definitely, it's a pretty fun track. And the fact that the drivers kept their noses clean, all that, definitely made for an incredible show there, especially. And IRP is a lot of fun. Like I said, obviously, I talked about it being my favorite track and all that. Mainly because of the fact that I grew up playing it in NASCAR 2005, Chase for the Cup, which I mentioned before on the channel, with the memories of driving a truck there specifically. But what I didn't mention was also be able to see the Craftsman toolbox driving on the backstretch of that track. Plus, it's also at the Milwaukee Mile, so definitely that's pretty cool thing there, especially. But yeah, it's also pretty cool to see Regan Smith in the booth, especially for FS1. Normally he's on pit road, but definitely was a nice change for him there to be able to be in the booth, especially he's pretty good there in the booth. Obviously, the third guy in the booth always seems to be the best one, as far as the three there with Jamie Little and Michael Waltrip. Whether it was Trevor Bate at Livewire Park, or other times with Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, other guys that are in the booth always seem to do better than the play-by-play. And the broadcast has become kind of rubbish there, especially because of the fact that they didn't show the entire battle between Riggs and Heim for the lead, because of the fact that they were in commercial. And once they came back from commercial, Riggs was just about to pass Heim for the lead, so definitely not the best production there for Fox, especially with FS1 there, especially at that track, especially with them not even being at the track because of the fact that they're in the Charlotte studios and all that. Definitely it doesn't provide the best level of broadcast. It definitely shows that Fox is not really caring as much about the Craftsman Truck Series, especially. They just put them in the studio, and it is what it is, even though the reporters are still there at the track, just not the broadcasters. And obviously it doesn't create the best experience there, especially for the viewer and all that, especially because of the fact that they might miss stuff that they might not miss at the track. Because of the fact that they're relying on monitors and all that, but it is what it is there, especially, but still, it doesn't take away from the fact that IRP is such a fun track and all that, and I'm glad that I was able to talk about it again, especially this track, along with North Wilkesboro Speedway and Rockingham Speedway, are the most fun tracks there, especially on the Craftsman Truck Series schedule, and I'm glad I'm able to talk about those tracks because of the fact that they're so much fun to watch, especially IRP, because of the fact that that track runs at night, even though North Wilkesboro and Rockingham race in the day, so definitely, it's much more fun, like I said, when they race at night and all that, so definitely, it provides incredible action, and you get to see the drivers with the sparks coming out of their trucks and all that, so definitely a pretty cool thing there, especially, so. But yeah, congratulations again to Layne Riggs on winning at IRP. Pretty awesome to see a different winner there, especially because of the fact that Ty Majeski won the last 2 years there, so definitely that's pretty cool there, especially, so. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you are brand new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.